Welcome to FPTV New Releases, and welcome to my very, very special guest today. I'm honoured to be joined by the mighty producers of Over the Moon, Peilin Chou and Gennie Rim. How are you today, ladies?
Great, thanks so much for having us.
Thanks for joining us. So great for you to be here. And my great journalism hero, Leonard Maltin. Great to see you again, Leonard. How are you, mate?
Nice to see you, Andrew.
It's lovely to
although I missed seeing you in San Diego this year.
Yeah, man. I mean, I missed being at San Diego this year. That's the first time in 16 years I haven't been at San Diego Comic Con.
Oh gosh.
And
well,
yeah, I mean, I missed everybody. I missed the bay. I missed the speedboats on the bay. Missed the restaurants on the bay. So frankly, I'm not sure whether we're going to be back there this year in 2021 either. Fingers crossed, we'll all be back for 22. But I certainly miss my entire San Diego family. Now, here at Titan, we're really privileged to be publishing Over the Moon, Illuminating the Journey, a really beautiful, lush, hardback book detailing the journey of the Over the Moon movie produced by Gennie and Peilin, and written by Leonard. Guys, thanks very much for joining us. How does it feel now that the movie's out there for everybody to see?
I should let the ladies speak first. They've been living with this longer than I have.
It feels amazing. I don't really know how else to characterize it, and also maybe a little surreal during this unusual time. I think we're so grateful that the movie is able to be in the world and reach people and connect with people. It's been a wonderful experience.
I think for us to have it out in the world in a moment where all the families are home and they have something to watch, and I keep hearing all these stories of like, we got the grandparents, we got all these people trying to watch it together, maybe not together in the same, but like, from their homes, and be able to experience that together as we're all remote. It's been a really wonderful way to see how people are reacting to the film.
Yeah. No, I think it's, and I think you guys have produced something really special. How long was your journey to create this movie?
The film's journey started in 2015, December 2015. So almost 5 years exactly, the journey.
Yeah, and Leonard, how long have you been? You're the author on this beautiful book for us. How long have you been working with the guys here and with the team on Over the Moon?
Well, it's almost embarrassing to say how little, given the years that Peilin and Gennie put into the project. But I was the last guy on board early this year, but they hadn't yet completely finished the movie. They were in the final stages, and you must understand that having put years into this with artists and animators in Shanghai, in Vancouver, in Los Angeles, and probably other places I'm not aware of, that it was all completed online during the pandemic, which is just mind-blowing. And we addressed that in the book. John Kars, Glenn Keane's co-director, talks about this in particular, and how incredibly swift and prepared the Sony Corporation, Sony ImageWorks, did a lot of the animation. And they had everybody hooked up with secure servers in their homes, I think he said within a week or so that the flow of finished scenes could continue, and that's how they did it. Amazing.
That's just amazing, guys. What was it like working through that experience? Working creatively, but virtually and apart from each other like that.
I'll say that it was I remember the first day where we had to send everybody home. I think it was a Thursday, and it was just like, first, like, let's get everybody safe. And then it was like, oh my gosh, how are we going to finish this film? And like Leonard said, Sony was an incredible partner in this. I think they started with saying, we only have like 12 work from home kits. And I was like, 12? We have like 200 people left on the show. And then the number just kept growing. And then within like 5 days to a week, they were, had everybody up. And it was incredible how quickly they were able to move, and how the precision of like security and getting all of that equipment and everybody safe at home was just amazing. I think the whole world was going through very uncertain times. I think everybody thought, oh, it'll be 2 weeks, maybe a month. No one knew that we would be finishing the entire film. And we were 5 weeks finishing animation, and we still had lighting. But I think the fact that we were all going through the world's uncertainty, and yet we had something to wake up every day and do, was kind of like a bonding experience for us as a crew. And I'm so grateful to every artist who poured their blood, sweat, and tears into the finishing this film, because people were struggling with kids at home and figuring out, you know, what is this work-life balance that we were doing, and never dropped the bar of quality for our film. Like I think if anything, it energized everybody to give it all, because it felt like such a special project and such a special film, that we really felt like we got the best of everybody. So yeah.
And the movie is such a beautiful confluence of science and fantasy and mythology. It seems to me that there's so much almost kind of alchemy about the way the whole thing is put together artistically. What was that like? Because it's beautiful. You know, I guess it must feel good to have just contributed something so beautiful.
Thank you. I think that this was definitely a really special project, and the alchemy you were talking about, it's so true in that I think every person that was involved with this film, there was like a feeling that we were destined to be involved with this film, starting with Glenn Keane at the top, and destined to come together at this point in time to tell this really special story. And it really stemmed from Audrey Wells, our screenwriter, her screenplay, and the message that she was trying to deliver as a love letter to her daughter and her husband, but also to the world. You may be aware she passed away during the production of this film, and Leonard writes so beautifully in the book about her story. And I think that, you know, she was really a guiding force for us all throughout the course of the production. And we just really wanted to deliver on her vision, and you know, we didn't want to let her down. You know, we didn't want at any turn for it to feel less than, you know, the pinnacle of what it could be. And I think that every person working on the film came to it with that dedication and energy every day. So that was a really special part of it.
Well said, I think. But Leonard, you famously, of course, wrote of Mice and Men, that classic history of American animated cartoons. With your breadth of, you know, animated movie knowledge, and, you know, in that context, you know, where would you say that Over the Moon stands in that kind of pantheon of animated greatness? How do you feel about it?
I think it stands high and can hold its own. And I'll be interested to see how it is adopted, taken up by a world audience in the years to come, which is the only real test of whether a film has legs or those enduring qualities that we associate with what we call classics. My least favorite oxymoron, or maybe my most favorite oxymoron in film reviewing, is instant classic. something like Jumbo Shrimp or Army Intelligence. It can't be an instant classic, folks. A classic is a film or a book or a piece of art that has stood the test of time. So, but I'm swimming upstream here, Andrew, so I can't stop it. But in any case, I think this has the makings of a classic because, first off, it's based on a legend or a myth that has endured for centuries. So that's the foundation on which it's built. And then I think the sincerity with which it was developed and then executed suit that material so beautifully. And then, as you say, it's just an exquisite film, physically exquisite to behold.
Yeah, no, it really is. What was it like working with Glenn Keane?
Oh, well, I've known Glenn casually for, I don't know, 35 years or more. And he's, not every artist can explain what they do or talk articulately about what they do. They can do it, but, and of course, why should we penalize them for not being able to talk? It's like Robert De Niro doesn't give great interviews, but he's one of the world's foremost actors. Isn't that enough? But in Glenn, you have someone who can articulate what he's trying to achieve and how he goes about it. And so that's icing on the cake. So talking to him and working with him to develop my text for this book was just a pleasure all the way. Plus, I admire him so. I mean, I'm unabashed in that. I'm a fan, I'm an admirer, and I admire the fact that he still expresses himself most fully by drawing with a pencil. And it's what he's always done, and it's what he still does to this day.
Yeah, no, I think he's in an industry filled with very talented people, he's at the pinnacle of that. Just what he does, that touch that he has, it's so beautiful to just sit there and consider. The book, of course, that we're talking about, Over the Moon, Illuminating the Journey. This is a vast and lustrous edition that Titan have produced. It's 198 pages. It's massive, but it's wonderful to behold at the same time. And you do get a real sense between your words on the page, Leonard, and those beautiful images from the film. Just that sheer level of artistry that went into creating all of this. I think anybody who's been moved by the film, is a fan of it, is really going to enjoy the book.
I hope so. And the book, I can say this much on my part, and I think everyone that I encountered in doing many interviews for my research, everybody really wanted to come through. Everybody, as it has been indicated already, there were hurdles. There were, physical hurdles and even emotional hurdles, and we're all thrown, off terribly by the pandemic. But the work had to be done, and it had to be done well. It had to be done right. No one wanted to let the film down. No one wanted to sully in any way the memory of Audrey Wells and what she left behind. And I think no one wanted to disappoint Glenn Keane.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Well said. And to guys, to close out on, Gennie and Peilin, what is your hope for this movie in terms of how it lives on beyond this moment? What are your ambitions for as it kind of lives on, through the ages of cinema, I guess?
Well, I'll just chime in with, I grew up at a time when I never saw anyone that looked like myself in film and on television in the mainstream media here in the US. And it is just such a tremendously meaningful privilege and opportunity to be able to bring this little girl's story, as well as the story of the moon goddess, famous all throughout China for generations, to a global stage. And, you know, to do so with characters that are real and complex, and, you know, that hopefully people connect to and find, you know, aspirational or even inspiring. You know, those are the things that, you know, really speak to me about the film, and, you know, probably the things that I hope will live on as the film lives on.
Yeah, right on. How about yourself, Jenny?
Yeah, I would echo that, and I also hope that that future generations of animation fans find this film as a classic, and just honor the work that went into all the artists, the animators, Glenn's work, Audrey's work. All of that is honored, because it is such a special and beautiful project that came together to really honor the legacy of really what Audrey brought, and to tell it in a way that you're introducing people to a new culture, new traditions that are celebrated by a large part of this world, and to be able to share that with other parts of the world is such an honor, and I really hope that people embrace it.
Fantastic.
I'll just add also that it's just so amazing and wonderful to me that this will always be Glenn Keane's future directorial debut.
Yeah.
Can't take that away ever.
That's so cool. Any parting words from you, Leonard?
Oh, just that it was a pleasure and an honor to work on this project. I'm so glad I got the invitation to come on board and help chronicle this beautiful film.
Yeah, and I'd just like to say on behalf of the Forbidden Planet viewers watching this, I've been privileged to spend some time in southern China as a result of my work, which is when I first encountered this mythology, actually, which blew my mind when I first found out about it. And so to see it writ large like this and produced together, I think in a great effort of everybody coming together in different places, working, you know, kind of a whole group of people doing that spirit of cooperation and communality, I think is for me one of the great things about the genesis of the film. And as I say, I think you've delivered something truly special, created something truly special. So on behalf of everybody watching this, thank you very much. And Over the Moon, Illuminating the Journey is available for order at the links attached to this interview.
I just wanted, Leonard, because I haven't had a chance to say just thank you, how beautiful it is, and your words and everything that you put in. So I just want to say thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for saying that.
No, absolutely. We were all completely blown away, honestly. Thank you so much.
No, it's so beautiful. And just reading through it, it just like, it's almost like for us, like, because we work, it feels like a yearbook of just going through all of the artists, all of the journey through it. And you did such a wonderful job of capturing that spirit.
Really
so
did.
Thank you.
So special.
Jenny, do a show and tell shot with the cover of the book.
Yeah, well, and then the back is really beautiful too.
Yes. Yeah, that's great. That is great. Brilliant. I should have asked that at the top of the interview. I didn't realize you had your copies with you. That's really awesome.
We carry them with us everywhere we go, you know.
That's what I like to hear.
Have one in every car, every room, you know.
Yeah, you know.
That's certainly my ambition. That's what I'm pushing everybody toward. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
My pleasure.
Thank you. It's lovely to see you all. All the very best. Bye-bye.